Hi, my name's Mark and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm coming to you from my local yarn shop, Around the Table Yarns in Shaker Heights, Ohio, to talk about gift giving for the fiber artist in your life. If you're watching this video, you might be a fiber artist yourself, or perhaps you've stumbled upon this video because you're looking for gift ideas for someone you love. We'll be walking through the store looking at things that I think make for great gifts, even if you're not completely sure what your loved one has on the hook or needles at this given moment. So if you're interested in coming along for a little bit of holiday shopping here at a local yarn shop, then stick around and let's get into it. Before we start looking at gift ideas, I wanted to share a couple of ground rules, at least that I follow for gift giving for the fiber artists in my life, or even if I'm compiling a wish list for myself. I think it's safe to say that most crafters out there have an established stash of yarn. People accumulate yarn. Sometimes we purchase it for projects that we don't end up making. Maybe it's passed on to us from someone else in our life, or we just like to shop. Maybe we like to shop more than we like to knit or crochet. So most crafters have a stockpile of fiber, so they're not always in need of random yarn. That's why I think it's good to have a game plan for gifts that will stand out, gifts that hopefully anyone would appreciate, things that might be universally appreciated. So before you walk into a local shop or go online and purchase a random skein of yarn or 3 skeins of yarn here or there to give to the person in your life who crafts, maybe consider some of these other ideas to be able to give them a gift that stands out and will hopefully be something that they can use immediately and often. I think the best gifts are those that bring a lot of joy, but also serve a purpose, have some sort of function, and can be enjoyed either to the fullest of their extent one time, or can be enjoyed and used over and over. So let's talk about some of these categories. Typically, a local yarn shop is going to carry a couple of standard categories of items. You'll have fiber, you'll have notions, you might have some books and magazines, and other various items. So let's talk about the first category, which is fiber. As you look behind me, you'll see lots of fiber in this shop, and here it's all organized by weight of yarn. That means we've got fiber options all the way from lace weight, very thin fiber, to a bulky or even super bulky fiber, something as chunky as this. If you're not sure what the crafter in your life likes to work with, if you can't place whether or not they use lace weight or DK or worsted or sport or fingering, then it's probably best to steer clear of fiber for this occasion. I think one of the most common things I see working in a yarn shop is people coming in after a birthday or Christmas or Hanukkah or any event, and they have yarn that they would never use. It's not the weight of fiber they use for their projects. Maybe it's not the right fiber content. They might live in a climate or have a sensitivity or preference that just doesn't line up with the fiber that was gifted. And that's totally okay. Like anything else in the world, there's so much variety within fiber and fiber production that unless you really know what kind of things someone likes to make, down to the fiber content and weight and even brand and color, then you might be taking a kind of random stab at the right gift. Let's say you do know what kind of yarn your loved one prefers. In that case, let's talk quantity. That's the next biggest question, even for a crafter when they come in to buy yarn in a local shop. How much do I need? How many skeins? How much yardage? What do I need to be able to make this project? So in this case, if you're getting a gift as a surprise and you don't know what project someone intends to make, then we really don't know how much yardage, how many skeins they would need. So I think it's safer in most cases to get a yarn they like, if you know the fiber content of the weight or even the brand they enjoy, and make sure you're getting enough to do some basic projects. So if you've decided to get a single skein of yarn as a special gift, I'd say go with 100 grams. Right here I have 50 grams, sort of a half skein put up, and then 100 grams. These are both fingering weight, so they could be used for all sorts of projects, but 100 grams would get you a pair of socks. 50 grams would get you one sock. Similarly, you could hold this double and make a great hat and have enough left for a pom-pom. This might not get you there. This might be enough for a child's size, but this is going to get you a little further. This rings true for heavier weight yarns as well. I have a worsted weight example here, a 50-gram skein, and then a 150-gram skein. Not all skeins come in 150 grams, but a lot of brands will produce yarn in a 100-gram quantity. Some things only come in smaller put-ups, like 25 grams or 50 grams, especially if it's a specialty fiber, something like mohair, silk, cashmere, even alpaca, or any other specialty fiber. So if you've decided on yarn, make sure to look at how much yarn you're getting, and it's good to go by weight. If you can ask somebody working or find it on the label, go for 100 grams or even 150 if they sell that type of skein. For these worsted weight yarns, 50 grams would get you one glove or part of a hat. 100 or 150 grams would get you the pair of gloves or the whole hat. If you're thinking about scarves or cowls or sweaters, anything larger than small accessories, that's when you start to need quite a bit of yarn, depending on the pattern, depending on the size that's going to be made, or even the type of stitch used. So that opens up a pretty big can of worms. If you know what the recipient wants to make, and you know their color preference and fiber preference, then you can go in and really curate the perfect bundle that they would need to complete the project. But if you're not exactly sure, I think it's safer to get perhaps a single skein of something special that still gives them enough fiber to make a project or two. The last thing I'll say about yarn or fiber is that a gift is often a chance to give someone something special that they wouldn't necessarily buy for themselves. So if you have a bigger budget for the specific gift, perhaps ask the person working in your local shop if they have anything local, any specialty fibers, anything that maybe someone wouldn't buy for themselves on their normal budget. Here at Around the Table Yarns, when I'm asked this question, I often point people towards some of the locally produced yarns. So Why Not Fibers is one example. This comes from Traverse City, Michigan. It's locally sourced, locally milled, and hand dyed. So it's all very local, and it's different. It's a different fiber, a different yarn than you would experience getting from a bigger producer or something that you might find in other shops around the country or around the world. I also point out specialty fibers to people. This is Metallico from Blue Sky Fibers, and it's a 50% baby alpaca, 50% silk. So very special, soft, delicate fibers. It is a small quantity of yarn, but there are some small accessories you can do out of one skein. And then similarly, we have Mayu from Amano, and this is a blend of alpaca, cashmere, and silk. So again, a smaller put-up of yarn, but enough to do something petite, delicate, and special. And speaking of special, a lot of people come in asking for cashmere. While some of the other yarns we carry have a portion of cashmere, we do have a 100% cashmere option, which is from Lang Yarns, and this is Cashmere Light. It's a very lofty fiber, incredibly soft, incredibly delicate. Again, a smaller put-up, so it might be something you have to invest a little more in to be able to make a full project. You might need to get 2 or 3 bundles of this. But if this is an opportunity to give someone something special, I think those are good places to look. Look for something local, look for something special or even luxury. Perhaps if it's something that the recipient wouldn't normally buy for themselves. I said I was done talking about fiber, and I almost am. If you're dead set on getting fiber, but you're really not sure where to start with picking out your own yarn or a single skein, then go for a kit. If your local shop has kits put together, then typically everything needed for the project will already be included. It's the right quantity of yarn, it's the right color range, and typically these come with patterns. So you can get a small kit, a medium kit, even big kits. There's all sorts of options that most stores will have put together, especially around the holidays. And if your recipient wants to make what the kit is put together for, they can, or they can take it apart and repurpose the yarn for other projects. And if your loved one is yarny but not totally engrossed in the craft, they're not always knitting or always crocheting, then go for a kit that's knitting or crochet adjacent, something else in the fiber arts realm. There are things like little felting and sewing kits that you can put together. It's like a little crafting kit that you would do as a kid, but really meant for adults. Just like the project kits with yarn, these crafting kits are going to come in small, less involved versions, and then, of course, bigger options. This one here is a needle felting kit, which is a fun rabbit hole to go down if you've never needle felted, and this is to make a set of gnomes, which is cute, different. Depending on the personality of the person you're shopping for, you can gauge what sort of thing might bring them joy and what they might enjoy spending some of their time working on. Let's say that you know your yarn-loving loved one is knitted or crocheted out, so you're looking for something that isn't going to add any pressure, any burden to their current projects, or maybe their enormous stash of fiber. In that case, I think a great avenue to go down is books and magazines. Most any local yarn shop will have a decent supply of books and magazines, so there's all sorts of stuff to choose from. There are pattern-specific books full of collected patterns from different designers or the same designer, so those can be fun if you know what kind of things your loved one might like to make or even look at and be inspired by. And then even less pressure, less weight than a book, we've got magazines, things that are quarterly publications that have articles and patterns, but it's a little bit more of inspiration, something to rifle through. Maybe they'll fall in love with a pattern or two, but it's more about the experience of flipping through, having a tangible Instagram feed of sorts, being able to look at what's coming out, what's going on around the world, and again, be inspired by it, or just be able to enjoy some of your downtime reading more about this hobby that you enjoy. And now for perhaps my favorite category, things that typically any crafter, almost any person, even non-crafters, can enjoy this, and that's notions. There are great things in every shop, things like good scissors, wool wash, stitch markers, project bags. There's so much out there that can be a great gift, something somebody will be delighted by, something that they can use. Who can't use a pair of scissors or a bag to put something in? It doesn't even have to be for your knitting or your crochet. This is where this category gets more flexible. If you're gifting for someone who already has it all, then I think you have a fun opportunity to look for something so niche, so specific, that the recipient probably would have never imagined getting it for themselves. I think it's fun. It's fun to think about what the people in your life will enjoy using. I like to think that when somebody uses a gift I've given them, maybe they remember me. Not that I'm gone yet, but if it's something they use all the time and they remember that association of me gifting it to them at some point, then I think it's a way to strengthen those bonds, those friendships. I think that can be a fun connection. I typically remember my favorite things that people have given me, and every time I use them, I think of those people, and it makes me happy all over again. So you can go absolutely wild with notions. There's something for everyone. People think of creative, beautiful things every day. There's a lot of handmade, a lot of specialty items that stores will carry, so check it out. If you can't find your way around a local shop, ask for help. And if you don't have a local shop, check out local stores online. I think finding a way to support a local business, a small business, is an important thing to do. And if you are a crafter, or you are related to a crafter, if you love a crafter in your life, the community that local yarn shops provide is unparalleled. It's vital to so many people, people who are a bit more isolated, people who lean on their craft. They put a lot of their own stress or grief or worries into their crafting. A local yarn shop saves many a life. So if you're looking for gifts, if you're trying to find something great, different, exciting for someone you love, or you're a crafter yourself just looking to treat yourself, check out a local shop. And if you don't have a local shop, go explore, see if anything new has popped up. And if not, try to find a local shop that is virtual, not local to you, but a community you can still become part of. To sum up the theme of this video, crafters typically have a lot of stuff, and they don't necessarily need more stuff, but if you're looking for a gift, if you're looking to give something special to someone, try to think of what your crafter likes to make, how they like to spend their time, how they express themselves, what their colors, what their textures, what their clothes and wardrobe, what all of that is like, and try to find some gifts that you think will really ring true for who they are as people and as crafters. If you're going with fiber, make sure you have a general idea of what your crafter likes to use, likes to wear, likes to work with, and in that case, make sure you get enough for them to be able to make at least a small project, and maybe look for something local, something special, maybe even a luxury fiber. If you've got a crafter in your life who's already overwhelmed with their current projects and they're not looking to start something new, maybe look for a good book, a good magazine, something they can spend their time relaxing with or finding future inspiration from. And if you're shopping for the crafter who already has everything, then look for something special. Again, think about their taste, think about what they like to use, what they might be dreaming of but wouldn't buy for themselves, and then look for some of those items. It's great if you can find something that's handmade, that's locally sourced. You can always look for things that people need more of. Wool wash, stitch markers, darning needles, scissors. All of those things eventually get lost or wear down, so those can be great gifts if you have a very active crafter in your life. And the last thing I'll suggest is that if you really can't decide what somebody might enjoy, you can always go with a gift card. I appreciate you choosing to spend this time with me today. If you're someone who's not a crafter, but you're truly looking for a gift for someone in your life, I hope this video has brought you some good ideas. If you are a crafter and you're joining me for our usual time together, I would love to hear from you. What is maybe the most anticipated gift? What's your number one item on your wish list for this year? Because I think it's really fun to know what other people are dreaming of. As always, I appreciate you joining me here. If you'd like, you can find me over on Instagram and Ravelry at makermarkknits. You can also find me over on Patreon, where we Zoom together a few times a month. As always, I appreciate you choosing to be here with me today. Happy knitting, happy crocheting, happy crafting to you, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.